Hey everybody,
It's Lisa.
and it's Abby. We are back for another week with growth hacks and marketing chats.
We're back.
Yes.
And we're talking about reaching the target market.
Yeah.
So we've done
Finding your target audience.
finding the target. We've done thinking about your messaging and things like social proof. And now it's where do you put these things?
Right. Like where
are you gonna reach the target?
Yes, absolutely. So if you have one of these, Marketing Alchemy Unlocked Mind-Blowing Strategies for Marketing MarketWise, you can go ahead and open up to chapter 3 and we can follow along.
Yep.
If not, put a little pause on this video or podcast, whatever you're listening or watching to, and head on over to our Amazon. The link is in the description, and go ahead and purchase one yourself, and then you can follow along with us.
And so when you hear the term marketing channels, that is what we're talking about. Marketing channels. So you know what your message is, you know who the target you're going after, and what is the best way to go and get in front of them. And based on your industry and based on what you do and who the target is, that would change what channels you might use.
Mm-hmm.
So this is an important part for you to consider. So the different types of channels are...
We have traditional medias. This is when we're talking about newspapers, magazines, radios, television, commercials, things like that. Just kind of what we've always been doing since the beginning when it comes to traditional media.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have digital media, which is a much more popular one that we're doing nowadays with social media like TikTok and Instagram and Facebook and any of those channels. We have email marketing where we're directly trying to get in the inbox of our prospects. Content marketing, blog writing, articles, newsletters, SEO, all those different like more new age things that kind of everybody is kind of getting more.
Well, to be seen online.
Yeah, basically.
To be seen online.
Digitally. Yeah. It's just digital.
Yeah.
So, it's one of the more popular ones I feel like people are doing all the time. And then we have local marketing, and that's like engaging with your local businesses and, really kind of being a part of the community.
Mm-hmm.
I remember we tried one of those one time a little while ago, something that was like kind of new that our community was doing, and it was fun, kind of being able to see the different businesses in the area and like really get to talk and chat with people.
Well, it's basically networking.
Yeah.
Doing sponsorships or partnerships with people, getting involved in your community.
Yeah. It's another really good way to show people that like, I'll support you, you support me, like let's support each other. And then the final one is we have word of mouth marketing, which is the best one, honestly.
Which is why you want raving fans.
Yes. It's the best one. It's the reviews, it's the referrals, it's the next door neighbor telling the other guy who did his gardening, it's the mom telling the other mom what dentist her kids go to. Like, the referrals are so great because people love to listen to other people more than they love to listen to businesses.
Mm-hmm. And it's the number one way almost every business grows or gets new accounts is through word of mouth.
Mm-hmm.
It's usually the number one thing. So it's something that you want to consider developing something around that in each business, any business that you're doing. So think about that and encouraging that type of thing.
Yeah, and it's important to really figure out where your business lies and what kind of media and marketing that is going to be the best for you. Where is your target audience looking? What are they looking at? Who are they listening to? And where do they spend the majority of their time? That is what you need to pay attention to. Like I'm sure we all follow or watch the videos of all the people who have bakeries or coffee shops or any food places, and we just love watching them make the food. We love watching them set everything up, and that's where social media really is just outstanding for them. Like anything that's super visual, like that's where your audience is going to be because that's what they want to see, and that's how you have to be thinking about stuff like this, for sure.
And choosing which one to do or do them all or how you're going to proceed is really important to remember that marketing is constant improvement, which means that you need to test. You need to test each of the different channels. You're going to try to, really, really imagine where your target is and use those and go hit those hard. But don't be afraid to test, because you never know if a postcard would be good for your business, or, maybe a lot of your competitors are only doing social media, and maybe it would be a good place for you to do a mailing of some sort, or even a commercial, on a cable TV. I was going to say that I sit with my family once a week, help out with my family and my dad, and we sit, and a lot of times we'll watch a couple of shows, and there's commercials that come on, and which I don't usually watch a lot of TV, so it's been a long time since I experienced commercials. But for, my dad's older, and for that, it's a bunch of, medicines for older people and different kinds of things for older people, which it's perfect, because I guess those types of programming, that's what they're watching. And, and so it was interesting to see that there's so many, like one commercial after another. I didn't even know, like, we're on Netflix. We don't have commercials, but that's still a viable place to do business and to make that part of your marketing.
I mean, that's,
if you have the budget for it.
Yeah, so I watch a lot of Twitch videos. My sister's a Twitch streamer, and I watch a lot of her streams. And for anybody that doesn't watch Twitch or know, it's just a streaming platform for gamers and all different kinds of people. But if you don't subscribe to people, then you get ads. Like if you watch YouTube, and if you don't pay for YouTube Premium, you get ads on YouTube. So I never get ads because I subscribe to my sister, but I am part of a program that Twitch has where you can, like, every couple of weeks or a month or whatever, they will send me an email and they'll ask me about ads that they've seen on Twitch. They'll personally ask me, out of these brands of like cars or energy drinks or cereals, what brands have I seen advertised on Twitch? What brands do I think belong on Twitch? What brand am I more likely to utilize now that I've seen them on Twitch or that they're a Twitch sponsor? And I always answer those. I always give it, but I think it's so interesting because they're trying to figure out not only, who their target audience is, but what their target audience is interested in, and then put ad placements that make sense.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, so I do those.
They're doing their own testing, and
they're testing that because they know that's you watch a lot of ads on Twitch if you don't subscribe to people, and they want to know what have you seen and what has really stuck with you, and what would you never want to see again, basically. And I get those all the time. Those show up all the time.
So essentially, what you want to do then is test, measure the results, and then tweak your tests until you get a refined idea of as to what channels to use for your particular business. Don't be afraid to test. Put a little money in different places if you're just starting out, and seeing what happens. Measure it always. I mean, the key to marketing is measuring and seeing what's working. Maybe we need to put more money towards that, or we need to refine that in some way. So test, measure, refine.
Just don't ever be afraid to do your own research into what people who are in your industry are currently doing. Mm-hmm. Where are they reaching their target audience? Even if your target audience is different, where do you think your money is best spent right off the beginning? And if you start to see that it's not giving you what you want, just branch out. There's nothing wrong with trying to go for a commercial. There's nothing wrong with trying to go for an ad. There's nothing wrong with posting on social media. There's nothing wrong with any of these. That's why even when you send out email campaigns and they give you the option to do A/B tests, and when you go onto Facebook and do an ad, they also give you the option to run an A/B test. Because not only do you not know which channel is the best, but you also don't know what they want to be hearing.
Yeah, you don't know what message will be the best. So you want to have a couple of different messages that you've developed for the same service or the same product, but just a different way of presenting it, and test and measure and refine.
Absolutely. Yeah. So important, and it'll be so worth it, and you'll see so much value when you really start to implement these ideas. Mm-hmm. It's just the next step. You've figured out who you're trying to market towards. You've figured out how to persuade them to use your product, and now you just have to figure out where do they hang out. Mm-hmm. Where
Basically it.
where are they?
Basically it. And, you know, a lot of it might depend on your budgeting, what kind of budget you have. So, you know, keep that in mind. You know, not everybody can make a commercial. Not everybody can do that right off the bat. But keep those things in mind because as you go forward, that might be the right place for you, you know.
And don't get disheartened. Like you heard all of those ideas and all of those places that people could be. There's so many of them. Don't ever, and there might be one that you didn't even know. You had no idea that people were hanging around in there and would want to see stuff like that.
A lot of people experience that through TikTok, you know, and even like in the dental industry, you know, dentists getting on TikTok, and the more engaging they are there, they're doing really great with that sort of, you know, a place where you wouldn't think they would do well, but they are doing well there, and other businesses are doing well in that form, in that place. And now we have, what is that, that Instagram new thing? Threads. We've got that, so we're looking into that too. We're also experiencing what that's all about. So
Threads actually had one of the highest amount of people to sign up for it within a 24-hour period, I believe, than any other platform has ever had. And I think a big part of that was because as soon as you logged into Instagram, it asked you, and it was easy. You just hit the yes button, and then you have a Threads account.
Yeah.
But it kind of fell off after that. People don't use it as much, but, you know, we don't even know. We don't know yet what kind of people hang out on Threads and what kind of messages people listen to on Threads.
Well, I was wondering if it's more of an extension or an option, kind of getting away from X, or formerly known as Twitter.
I definitely think it's Instagram's way of making its own
thing.
X, yeah,
that's right. Because there's a little bit of volatility in that whole thing too. So, but anyway, there's always going to be something new, something to look out for, and you just never know until you try, till you put something up and try that place and see if that's the right place. Or the best way to know is your target hanging out there? You know, are they hanging out there? That's where you need to be. It's no sense in, you know, doing things where your target's not hanging out. But, you know, that's the main thing is figuring that out. When you did your target market exercise, you should know that, what they do, where they hang out, you know.
And when you're measuring these results and seeing if they work, you know, there's so many different, like, don't be nervous about, oh, how am I going to measure this? What am I going to do? There are so many applications and things that you can utilize, and even analytics within, like, social media platforms, your website, your email, if you use things like MailChimp or HubSpot or anything like that. There's so many areas where it'll show you exactly how well it did, and you can utilize that. And you can do things like what Twitch does when it sends an email out and asks, because that information is good for Twitch, but it's also good for those companies who are wanting to advertise on Twitch. You know, they know if they're even going to get any traction because they're doing these surveys. There's nothing ever wrong with surveying and asking the people who are already using you and people who you think might be interested in you, you know, what, like, do you think this would work? What would work better? Where did you come from? I don't know if you guys have ever signed up for anything where they're like, you know, how did you hear about us? Because people want to know, did you get a flyer? Did someone tell you? Were you referred? Did you go to our social media? Which social media site? Did you go to our website? Like, what page did you look at?
Please do not do your marketing without a way to measure each and everything. And when you have things coming in from different places, make sure you can differentiate where you're getting your those calls from, or emails from, or however you get or somebody walking in through the front door. Because you might have done an ad on Facebook and you got people walking in. You need to ask, how did they hear about you? Or have some sort of a coupon number or something that you can track. Tracking, measuring, refining. It doesn't do you any good if you do not implement that part of it. Because then you don't know where to put the money next year. You know,
Yeah.
It's super important.
Absolutely.
Well, if you fill out this chapter, you'll have 3 sections of your marketing plan completed and ready to go.
Yeah.
Don't get stuck on anything. Do your best in here, because remember, you're going to keep refining.
Yeah, and that's like a third of the way done.
Third of the way.
Almost done with your very own marketing plan. And I can't wait to see people really use this and get so much out of it.
Yep.
Thank you guys for joining us for another week.
Yes. Thank
And
you.
let us know if you have any questions, comments, concerns. You can go to our social media pages. All the links are in the description below. Subscribe, follow, like, leave us a comment. Let us know what you think.
Grab
Yes,
a book. Grab a book.
The link for this will also be in the description below. You can go ahead and grab a copy off of Amazon, ebook or hardback. So just let us know. And thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.
Have a great one.
All right. Bye-bye.